Dwaynies, hello, everybody. Yay, people are showing up. Hello, it's Power Coach Alishia here, and welcome to the Badass Booking Training. You guys, the best training comes out of me when I don't create an outline and I don't have it all mapped out and all of that kind of stuff. And I just get on here and do the damn thing. So I don't have any sort of outline, but I know like what I want to talk to you guys about and what I want to train you on. So grab a pen, a piece of paper. Hey, can all of you guys see me over here, or is it blank for everyone? Hey, Natasha. Hello, everybody on YouTube. I'm going to be looking both places because I'm live in two different places, but mostly up here because that's where a lot of the interaction happens is on Facebook, but I wanted to make sure I got this recorded on YouTube as well. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Power Coach Alishia, and I'm your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational coaching with a twist of tough mama bear, no fluff, no hand-holding, no bullshit love. It's my job to teach you how to live the life you love, plus build a profit-filled empire, unapologetically authentic. And I do that by teaching you how to build your direct sales business the smart way, plus not sacrifice your sanity and the time with yourself and your family in order to do that. I've already made all the mistakes. I've been in this industry for over 11 years, and I am the only coach who delivers you the power, the training, the strategies, the processes, the way that I do. And I'm the only direct sales coach who is all about the woman as a whole, right? Helping you be a better mother, a better person to yourself, a better partner for your partner in your life. Like, I'm all about you as a whole because I was born to be a life coach. I was born to be I always say, a life transformational coach, because that's what I'm about. I can reach deep inside your soul and pull out the badassery that lives inside of you and help you live from that place. That's what I like a master at. That's what comes first nature to me. Second nature to me is direct selling. I think like you. I know your struggles. I've been where you've been before. And I have a lot of really awesome, innovative ways for you to build your direct sales business in today's world. So with that, make sure you have a pen and piece of paper and you're ready to take crazy notes. I have no idea how long this training is going to be. And truth be told, I only know about 3 things I want to talk about. But you just wait. This is how Power Coach Alishia delivers. So I'm totally excited for you to get the pure fab saucery and badassery of this. Before we jump in, there's a couple of things like housekeeping things I want to mention. The first thing is if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go to rockstardirectsales.com and join my Direct Sellers Rock Daily Facebook group. Number 2, you guys can take that URL, rockstardirectsales.com, and share it with anybody you know who is in direct sales, upline, downline, sideline, anybody you know in direct sales who is struggling to build their business, but they truly want to succeed. Those are the people I love to work with. And also, I love to work with people who are not running their direct sales business as a hobby. I don't do well with hobbyists because I don't know how to teach you how to make just a little bit of money. I don't know how to teach you how to be just a little bit successful. I only know how to teach you to build this badass profit-filled empire. That's what I'm the best at. And I can't stand the hobbyist mentality. There's a lot of like wasted time putting your business on the back burner and not putting forth the consistency in order to gain the momentum in order to get the results that you truly want. So hobbyists are not, they're just not who I'm looking for. So if you're a hobbyist, I'm not saying you have to leave. I'm just saying that my style of coaching is not going to get you that hobbyist result, right? And I'm always going to be in your face, kicking your ass and pushing you to think bigger, be bolder, and make no excuses. And the challenge with the hobbyist mentality is you're always thinking small, you're not making bold moves, and you're making a fuck ton of excuses, which brings me to the next thing for those of you guys that don't know me, and this is your first time like being here and hanging out. I swear I'm 100% unapologetically authentic who I am. In my everyday life, I swear like a sailor. I'm always life coaching people. I am me. So I expect you to show up in my world as you are. And I expect with you being part of my world that you accept me 100% as I am. If swearing bothers you, you get offended easily, your feelings get hurt easily, this isn't the place for you. There's none of the fluffy shit. There's none of the hand holding. I'm just all about helping you live the life you love and make a fuck ton of money while you're doing it. So if that sounds good, drop a 1 in the comments. Let's do that. All right. So if that sounds good to you, drop a 1 in the comments so I know that you are like here and ready to rock. Yay. I love hearing that, Shannon. Thank you so much. Mwah. And it's so awesome to like see you live and be able to talk to you. I know we've talked a little bit in the group. You guys, I absolutely love interacting with you. I love building a relationship with you. I love getting to know you. Hey, Lynette. Hi, I'm Power Coach Alishia. Nice to meet you. I love the aspect of what I do, just connecting and adding value to your life and into your business that you can take and use, whether or not you ever buy anything from me. My motto is that value added is worth more than the price paid. So I'm going to deliver you today the most badass value you've ever gotten from anybody's live training. The things that I'm going to talk about are usually things that people make you pay for. Okay. So there's that. The things that I'm going to teach you are, you know, you have to pay big bucks for. I also want to mention this. I'm getting ready to launch a brand new training that is all about building this badass like weekly structure online. It actually is compiled of 7 different standalone trainings that I have. So if you've been in my world if you're just barely being here, what this training is going to do is it's going to make it to where you learn everything that you need to know to rock your business, specifically on Facebook, and B, to maximize your time offline doing parties and building your business there, right? So it's like there's like this cool new advanced strategy that I'm going to be teaching you and doing offline parties. And then online, I'm teaching you this badass structure that you can take. You'll know what to post in your group every single day of the week, Monday through Thursday, and how to keep your business consistently growing and going. You know, I always get asked, how do I get more people into my group? How do I get more leads? How do I get more interaction, record cap, blah, 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 all of those things. And that's what this new training camp is about. So here's the thing. Here's the big deal. If you want more information on this training camp, I am going to have you put a TC in the comments. TC in the comments. If you're on YouTube, you can feel free to put to send me a message on Facebook, facebook.com/Alishia Willardson, ALISHIA. Willardson is WILLARDSON. And I will get you guys the information on that. That's not like my main point. That's not why I'm here doing this live. But I do need, I'm doing like a beta group. Hold on. Alexa, turn down. Jiminy Christmas. Hi, Don. So put TC in the comments. I'll shoot you some information on it. I'm looking for a beta group that's going to get a killer discount. This training camp will be $1,000 when it goes like full on to the public. But I am looking for just a handful of people who want to go through this training camp with me. It's going to be $97. It's definitely very, very meaty. I don't know how long it's going to be. That's the other thing. I don't want to overload you. So my gut says it's going to be about 4 weeks of badassery. Like, this is like the real deal shit. So I just wanted to mention that, okay? But whether or not you purchase from me, whether or not you join the training camp, whether or not that's a thing for you, I don't want you to think that being here is going to be a waste of your time. I don't want you to think that you're not going to get real value from this, and this is just like a fucking pitch fest to sell you my shit. Like, I've ran my business like that in the past. I've seen how people run their businesses like that, and it just doesn't fulfill me. It makes me fucking miserable to constantly be selling you stuff and not giving you that ultimate value that you need, and to be able to take and build your business. So with that being said, let's get started. One thing that I have been hearing a ton lately, just talking to oh my gosh, do you hear the psychoticness of that? Alexa, play Ocean Tranquility Radio. Just don't know I just wanted some good upbeat music in the background, but that was a freaking shit show. Okay, I'm back. So the thing that I've been hearing a lot is that in-home parties are dead, right? Like, nobody wants to do in-home parties. Nobody wants to show up. Nobody wants to be a host. Nobody wants to go to them. Like, there's all of these lies that are being spewed out there about in-home parties and that they're no longer good. And here's the thing, the real truth is, like, online parties are not near what they used to be. And maybe some of you guys are like killing it in online parties, but truth be told, like, having a host and then having everybody come and everybody shop and all that sort of thing, it's dying out. Have you guys noticed that? If you have, drop a Y or yes in the comments. If not, an N or a no, that's fine too. Just let me know that, like, you're here with me. I'm going to be asking you to interact this whole time so we can have a full-blown, like, training session as if we're in the same room. Like, you can do all of this stuff. You can coach your hostess online. You can give her everything that she needs. You can give a bomb-ass incentive plan, right? You can do all the damn things. And then you show up for the party and there's like a couple of people there. And then at the end of it, they're not really buying. I mean, even me as a master at selling and running my business on Facebook and kicking major ass and seeing all the other things that are out there that other coaches teach and the processes and how to do things, nothing sells more than face-to-face. Like, and or Facebook live sales, right? So a Facebook live sale is different than an online party. And I want to make sure that you understand that. Like, online parties are fucking dead. I don't care what anybody says. They're dead. Because of the numbness, right? People are a lot more numb now to the noise that's out there. They're numb to the way things used to be. They're used to it. That's what I mean by numb. So they're easily able to ignore it. And with Facebook live sales, they're also easily able to ignore that as well. However, when you know how to get people's attention, when you know how to engage people, when you know how to connect with them and add that value and create that it factor, that thing that makes people show up because they're like, I want what you're on, right? I want to be a part of your world. I want to spend time with you because you're fucking amazing and you light up my life and you lift me up. That's what makes people show up into your world and show up to your lives and shop from you, right? But it's a relationship that you cultivate over time. The challenge with an online party specifically is that most of these people who are coming and showing up and supposed to be shopping, you haven't had the opportunity to cultivate a relationship with them, which means there's no loyalty to you. There's no reason for them to show up, where the argument would be, well, they have the loyalty to show up for the person who invited them. They have the loyalty to show up for their friend or whatever, but that's not true. They don't fucking know you. And they know you're there to sell them shit. People, they do want to be sold to, but I can tell you nowadays, you absolutely have to sell to people in a valuable way. And you must do it in order. So one is connection. You have to connect with people. You have to take that time to build the relationship. I can't tell you over the last couple of weeks how many people have told me they've been following me for years. I've never seen their name. I have no idea who they are. Like, half or 3/4 of you that are on live with me right now on Facebook, I don't know you. You know me, but we haven't had a conversation. I haven't had the opportunity to coach you. I haven't had the opportunity to connect with you. And when I say coach you, I don't mean to have you pay me. I mean literally free coaching, like responding to the posts in the group and having that interaction and having that conversation. One of the first things I do when you join my group and join my world, hi Joanne, is I ask you, what is your biggest challenge, right? And we have a conversation about that challenge and I give you some resources that can help you. And then every single day there's like badass training posted in Direct Sellers Rock Daily. Again, if you're not in that group, more than likely for those of you on YouTube, you just go to rockstardirectsales.com and it'll take you right there. And the thing is it's like, that bothers me, I mean, I love seeing new faces. I love that. That's not the part that bothers me. The part that bothers me is you've been in my world for years and I don't know you. And so I'm really pushing hard on that connection and really building that tight-knit, like, badass bitch community. I call us Babs, right? Where we're together and we're helping each other out. And I can see where you're coming from and what you've got going on and giving you that feedback and helping you think a little bit bigger. All the things. I absolutely love that. And everything hinges on that connection. For me, for you, for everybody. You have to start with the brand of you. What is it that you deliver? What is it that you bring as far as value to people's lives, whether or not they ever pay you for your product or service? Everybody is so focused on the selling. Everybody's so focused on the success of their business that when that is your focus, it eludes you, it avoids you, you struggle to have that. You know, it's like if you stress about money, then you don't have enough. And when you shift your focus to just enjoying life and being grateful for what you do have, everything works out how it's supposed to, right? So number two, after you've built that connection and you've built that relationship, number two is adding that value. So just because I've connected with you and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you, Shannon, blah, 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 blah. Like that's step one for connection. But that, first of all, I got to take that connection deeper, right? Connecting with you. What business are you in? What are the challenges that you're having? Why are you having those challenges? What have you done in order to fix that up until this point? All of that is connection. Also, the connection comes from me being the person that I am, showing up honestly, showing up pure, authentic. If you've seen any of my lives after a walk, I'm just sharing what my thoughts are, or what I'm going through, or what I'm working on, you know, like real life shit about me that lets you connect with me as a human being, right? And then based on things that I post and questions that I ask and things that happen inside my world, I get to know you. Because when we do trainings like this is one-sided, me talking to you. So as the business owner, as the person who is building the brand and wanting to get out to the masses, the only way that that happens is if I start with building that relationship from my side, right? Being completely who I am, and then vice versa, asking you stuff so that conversation can get going. So I hope that that makes sense. We're going to get to the value part of that in just a second. So Shannon says she was away from her sales for a couple of years due to back surgeries. She can tell the difference in just those 2 years. Yeah, everything has changed. Even though in this industry, like I'm not going to say quote unquote old strategies, processes, systems. I'm not going to sit here and be like, none of that shit works. Like you have to be doing all this new stuff. I'm not saying that. Like that's not true. And we're going to get back to the in-home parties. I'm going to get you some awesome, like step by step. We'll get there. I promise you. The thing about it is that old strategies work. I would say my old strategies work. I don't know about other people's. My old strategies still work. My old systems, my old processes. And when I say old, I'm talking about the things that I've designed in the last, 6 years. They still work. What doesn't work today is the mentality that this no longer works. Like in-home parties, those are dead. Catalog parties, those are dead. They're not. They're not dead. It's that even if you think about it, this industry most consultants in this industry have always struggled with parties, right? Always. This industry has always struggled with catalog parties, or, they always have, right? And so now that technology is so freaking amazing and there's so much that you can do with technology, now it's like, well, those things are dead. Well, you would have thought they were dead back then if you were the one failing at it, right? You would believe that now you can't succeed with catalog parties, or you can't succeed with in-home sales or in-home parties because of what people are saying to you. But the truth is that you don't know how to overcome those objections. You don't know how to position yourself as the badass that you are and show them that they do still want to do this, that it is still alive and well. I'm almost done wrapping up my 90 days coaching with one of my clients who went from 2 to fully booked 9 to 12 parties a month. And I give you the range of 9 to 12 because she really only wants to do 9, but she has to keep opening extra spots because of my booking strategies, because of what I've taught her. And not only booking, but then we went to hostess coaching and how to hold those parties and coach your hostesses in a way that doesn't make you fucking crazy and doesn't annoy the shit out of her and stress her out. Literally, we just A to Z'd it. We started bookings. We went to hostess coaching. I taught her my sales tactics, I guess it is tactics, right? processes. I got to figure out different words. I don't know. So I taught her these things. She came in with a $700 party average and she's now over 1,000, right? And so we stopped there because she's not ready to recruit and lead, but coming back in September, we're building her whole portion of like how she's going to build her team consistently and how she's going to lead that team to greatness while continuing her business. And when we come back together in September, we're also building her holiday business model, her holiday business plan, right? Because a lot of times you're going through business and you're just thinking that what got you here will get you there. Or you're thinking, this didn't work this time, so it will never work again. Both of those things will ruin your business. Both of those things will ruin you ever getting to those levels of success that you want. Yay, Dawn, I'm so excited. Shannon says, I think it's a lot to do with so many new direct sales companies and some people have gotten burnout. Others just so used to seeing it every day that they think nothing about it. Right, so like, I believe in my heart of hearts, online parties are dead. They are. They're dead as we know them. Like, you can teach like free strategies and stuff like that, but actually selling, there isn't enough connection. There isn't enough value. There isn't enough of what needs to be given, in my professional opinion, for people to actually stay and shop with you. Like online parties, you don't have that connection. And people would be like, well, in-home parties are the same way. I don't know any of those people. Yeah, but women love the opportunity to get together. They're always taking care of their fucking kids. They're always busy. They're always giving to everybody else. They're always overwhelmed. They're always pushing themselves to the max. So it's like, do you want to come hang out? Have some drinks? I'm doing this party. It's like, fuck yes, I do. I need that break, right? So then they come, and then in that space, the hostess gets them there because their benefit is getting that time away. And then that's when you're on. That's when you've got to deliver those high levels of being fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational. Write that down. So people love me because when they show up to a training, or when they show up to a party of mine, or when I used to sell LuLaRoe, even online in the live sales, when they showed up, they got so many aspects that filled their soul, right? So my lives and my in-home parties were so fun. I used to say that my parties were laugh so hard your stomach hurts fun, right? Hey, Dana. So they would show up whether online or in person, and the funness was off the chain, right? But I had already built those relationships with those people. When I went to do hosted parties, they really weren't that good. There were times that the hostess parties were good, but they were bad more than they were good, right? Because I didn't have the connection. I did everything I could to bring that connection to people. I did styling. it just didn't work because people nowadays need more of that. So I know we're a little whiles into this and you're like, she hasn't taught me how to book parties yet, but everything I said is like literally part of that foundation to book parties. Everything I've said so far, if you don't take, you don't learn, you don't master, you're never going to be able to get to those next levels with the actual strategy. So you have to trust this. I really want to encourage you. And one of my main reasons for starting this with becoming a booking party badass is that I want you to realize that if you don't have an offline business, you're going to be totally fucked. The thing is that Facebook, I believe, will be around for a long time, but what if it's not? What are you going to do? Because you're running around here saying that in-home parties are dead. What are you going to do? That's what I want to know from you. If you think that your business is fully online, if you think that your business can survive in just the online world, if the internet stopped tomorrow, what the fuck would you do? Do you have the systems? Answer this question in the comments for me. Do you have the systems? Do you have the processes? Do you have the plans in place to continue paying your bills? Do you have all of this in check to continue taking care of your family or whatever it is that you spend your money on? Or are you completely fucked? You don't have to say you're fucked if you don't swear. But you need to answer that question, right? Like, you got to stop putting all your eggs in one basket and then saying that the other basket doesn't work. Like, the other basket is old news. The other basket is dead. It's not. I just believe everything I've seen from online parties. I feel like the stint of the online party world, like literal online parties, made it max 3 years. I'll give it 3. The third year was a shit show. And like I said, you can still be successful doing online parties now. I do believe that, but it's so fucking wishy-washy. Like literally, if you book 20 online parties, right? You'll have like 2 good ones. Maybe. 2. Maybe. 2. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit over exaggerative. If you book 20 online parties, maybe 3. 20. Let me ask you this, and I'll go ahead and answer it for you. If you had 20 in-home parties, if you suck at hostess coaching, 12 or 13 will hold. 12 will hold. You think that those are going to suck? Out of those 12 that hold, my guess would be that you sell between $6,000 and $7,000. And if you're at a 25% commission, 10 is 7, 20 is 14. 5 is 350. You make $1,750. It was worth it, right? You got to pay attention to that. The problem that you have is that you don't know how to book those 20 in-home parties, right? You guys have got to stop this whole online world thing. And I love fucking Facebook. I am a lot online. But like for me, I realize at this point that I'm good online. Like I sell online all the time. I connect with you guys online all the time. But one of the things that I'm going to start doing, which I'm so excited about, is like meet, greet, and train with Power Coach Alishia absolutely free. So I'm going to be traveling around, and the next day after conventions, you can meet me, buy breakfast if you want to, if the location's big enough. You can buy breakfast, hang out with me, pick my brain, and you're going to get a free training. How fucking cool is that? I'm going to be in Las Vegas the day after the paparazzi convention, and we're going to be doing a meet greet training then. So it doesn't cost you anything to come sit and learn from me, hug me, take pictures with me, train with me. My only intention is to show the whole direct sales MLM network marketing industry that you can be successful without killing yourself, that you can show up every day who the fuck you are and build your business and not have to work so hard being a version of yourself that you believe you have to be in order to be successful, right? So if you're in paparazzi, definitely shoot me a message. I could use some help with organizing, location. There's already like 24, 25 people confirmed. It's to come and hang out for this meet and greet. And so we got to find a location, but I think it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. But anyways, let's get back to booking parties like a badass. So let's get to it, right? We've spent like the last 30 minutes giving you that strong foundation of your mentality. I need you to shift. I need you to realize that if your business can be taken away because of the medium you use to build it, you're wrong. You're not. That's not good. Like literally, if the earth is taken away and the people are taken from earth, that's the only way your business is going to fail offline, right? Like that's the only way it can be taken from you is if the people on earth leave, right? And I feel like we're so stuck in one way in building. I feel like we're so stuck in one way in now running businesses that we're losing sight of everything. And that's what this training is about. So here we go. If you haven't heard how to book parties before, I have this really, really, really awesome Book Your Way to More Paydays ebook. And for all of you guys that have gone and signed up, if you're on my email list, I'm also going to add it to the description of this video on Facebook and on YouTube. You guys can go and you can get that ebook and learn how to book 2 parties at every party. So the first thing is that's like a whole 90-minute, 2-hour training on its own. And I just want to make sure that you have that and that there's no pieces missing. So I'm going to make sure that you get that. But there's a couple of other things and strategies that I want to talk to you about here along with that to make sure that you get what you need to succeed. So let me pull it up here. I'm going to pull up this ebook on my screen so that I have it. And then I'm going to go over it, not like really quick, but rather quickly. Oh, I pushed the wrong thing. Rather quickly. And then I actually, I think I want to go over the things I want to talk to you first and then go over this ebook. Yeah. So we're going to talk about what's in the ebook in just a minute, but I want to talk to you about some like extra strategies that a lot of people don't think about. So you're constantly told that you need to do vendor events, right? Book vendor events, book vendor events, book vendor events. And either A, you struggle getting vendor events in your area and then you just give up on them, or you get vendor events and they suck. So I want to talk to you about this really cool flow that I created for myself when I was doing LuLaRoe. And I created it because dragging, 1 or 2,000 pieces of inventory around was a fucking nightmare. So if I was going to do it, I was going to do it and make sure I got the best results, right? That I maximized on that time. So even if you don't have any vendor events this summer, the first thing I want to encourage is that you go out and you find vendor events coming up for the fall. Please trust me on this because I'm going to show you right now how to maximize on vendor events. So it's like a roundabout way to get sales and bookings. I have a whole entire vendor event training. Takes you step by step on how to book parties, sell more, and connect with people at vendor events. So again, that's not what this is for this time. One of these times I'm going to do a live and I'm going to give you all that training for free. So don't worry your pretty little head. But now I want to show the structure on the back end of the vendor event. So let's say for the sake of what we're talking about here, you already know my vendor event training, my 8 steps to it, how you can rock it out and consistently be booked from vendor events. We're just going to say that for now. We might do a backtrack and then next time I teach you how to kick ass at vendor events. But for now, let's go forward. So you're at this vendor event. You know how to book parties from it. You've learned how to do it. But let's say this vendor event is like dead, right? There's not really a lot of people coming through it. I mean, there's some, but you need more people in order to get the results that you're looking for, right? In order to get fully booked or to sell more and make it worth your time from what you invested to be at this vendor event. Before the vendor event, you're going to look at your calendar, right? Any vendor event you have, you got to look at your calendar. And within 7 days of that vendor event, you need to be having a party at your house. So if I was selling Papa, it is a $5 jewelry bash. If I am a 31 girl, it's like organize. I don't know. I haven't even think of. Oh, a bag bash. Boom. There we go. I love alliteration. So as many alliterations that you can do, it's awesome. So you're having a bash at your house with your products, right? So before you get to that vendor event, you look at your calendar 7-ish days out. Obviously, a Thursday or Friday night is going to be best for the duration because as soon as the kids go back to school, we hit the fall. Excuse me, then everything that everybody wants to do is on the weekends, right? And then it just makes it very hard to host weekend parties. So Thursday, Friday night, let's say. When you go to that vendor event, you want to have a whole bunch of invitations. I've never taught this before, so if you think you've heard it, you haven't. You're going to have a whole bunch of invitations, right? The invitations, for me, I was fine. I had my name, my address, my phone number. I have a gun, so I wasn't worried about somebody getting my address, and then there was something like, it would be something crazy. You guys have to understand something about me. I do not worry and stress over things that could potentially happen, or I do my best not to. So I don't think about like, oh my God, I'm giving people my address and what if they're creeps or whatever. If they're creeps and whatever, then they're going to get shot, or, it's going to be fine. I lock my doors, all of those things. So I don't worry about that. This is truth be told. Cause I know that's going to be the first thing that goes through your mind. So these invites have the date, the time, the address, my phone number to RSVP. And for this, I gave a free pair of leggings for showing up. So if you are a Papa girl, it could be a free ring for showing up, a free piece of jewelry for showing up. If you're 31, you could give the key fob for showing up, right? So whatever, you just got to think of what can you give for free for showing up. And you can just say free gift for showing up. You don't have to tell them exactly what it is. Although if you tell them what it is, there's a bigger chance that they're actually going to show up. So I gave everybody who showed up to my Lula Bash a free pair of leggings. I made it very prevalent on the invite. And I also said that to him when I handed it to him. I'm doing a Lula Bash at my house next Friday, the blee blah blah, whatever it was, date it was last year. I'm like, you get a free pair of leggings for showing up, bring a friend, and you get 10% off your order or some shit. I don't remember what the bring a friend was, right? But the friend also got a free pair of leggings for showing up. It's a tax write-off, and I wanted to get my house packed full of people. I was not going to be miserable as fuck in 100-degree heat and not turn it into something badass, right? So thinking outside the box, this is amazing. You just wait. So you hand out all of these invites, right? This is only from this one vendor event. So follow the track here. Whether they buy from you at your booth, excuse me, or they book a party at your booth, or they're just walking by your booth, you need to stop them, tell them about this bash that you're having at your house, and give them the invite. You give them the invite. It's crazy what happens, especially with the incentive to get those free leggings for showing up. So I did this at a 2-day vendor event. The next weekend was my Lula Bash. I didn't have any of those people's phone numbers or addresses or anything to remind them. I had nothing. I didn't have them fill out a customer fucking card at the vendor event. None of that shit. So I didn't have their addresses unless they shopped from me. They shopped from me, I did, but I didn't worry about that. So what happened was the next week, there was over 20 people at my house shopping. So at the vendor event, I was able to make my money back. I didn't book any parties there because it was too much with clothes. It was hot. I had no space for my vendor event training that I teach you. So, and I wasn't going to schlep my shit all over the place. So I wasn't going to be taking my inventory and doing parties at other people's houses. So what I needed was to get people to my house so I could show them how I book parties and how I rock it and how they're going to get the best benefit. I had over 20 people at that first event, and I had, at the time, over 3,000 pieces of inventory. So at the vendor event, I only had maybe 500 pieces of inventory, but when they came to my house, I don't know, maybe it was more than that, maybe 800 pieces of inventory at the vendor event, but there was 3,000 pieces at my house. So when they came there, it was all lined out. I had the food, everything. And what I did was I talked to them about booking parties at my house. So I'm like, dude, this boutique, it's set up. We're rocking and rolling it. We're remodeling it right now. I'm giving $100 in free product to anybody who books a bash at my house. So here was step 2. Before that day of the bash, I had when my next ultimate party was going to be, my next 2 ultimate party dates. An ultimate party is when you have multiple hostesses in one location, same date, same time. You only set up once, you do the party once, you check everybody out once, but you are doing multiple parties at one time. That's another training that I have. And that is part of this training camp that I'm talking about, the ultimate party thing. So back to this. I'm so excited. So I told them they were getting $100 in free product. That's called a carrot here at Rockstarter XLs. So a carrot is where you dangle something so big that they can't help but say yes, right? Well, I'm providing the location. I always provided the food, and I'm giving you $100 in free LuLaRoe for booking and holding a party on one of my ultimate party dates, right? And so I said I told them what my next 2 dates were. I already had them set. So from the ultimate party date, one was the following weekend, the following Friday, and one was the next Friday. I always did one bash at my house a month, and then the next 3 Fridays were bashes or ultimate hosted parties. Let me just say it that way. So one party was me as the host, inviting everybody that I knew. And each month it got bigger and bigger and bigger because from the last bash, I would have them fill out check-in forms so I could mail them invites and text them reminders to show up and da-da-da-da-da. So every month on the first Friday of the month was my Lula Bash. And all the rest of the Fridays of the month were my ultimate hosted parties. And I always used my Lula Bash to fill up the ultimate hosted parties. But I always use the vendor events to fill up the Lula Bash. You guys following me here? Let me know that you're following me. So it goes vendor event to Lula Bash, or your bash for your product, and the bash for your product to ultimate parties. Okay? What that does is you're working 4 nights a month. But on these 3 nights, you have 5 hostesses a night. That's 15 parties, right? And then on this one over here, that's your party. You could do mystery hostess and all of that That's a whole other training. But the point of this is it's fucking powerful. You're never going to go to a vendor event again and feel like it was a waste of time. Even if you know my booking strategies, even if you know my selling strategies, even if you're following my system at a vendor event, if you don't have the numbers on your side, you're going to struggle to have the ultimate success you want. You're still going to book a couple of parties, even if the numbers are low following my system. You're still going to sell a little bit, even if the attendance is low following my system. But addition to that, you're going to be filling up the attendance for your bash from this vendor event. The number one question that comes up after this is, what happens if this vendor event is 2 hours from my house? It is what it is, right? If it's 2 hours from your house, I can't help you with that. I'm talking about local vendor events, right? So I know that the natural inclination is to immediately think of what's wrong, right? How this won't work, how you can't be successful doing this. I have a client that I always have to tell her, you've got to stop constantly asking the wrong questions. The wrong question is, what do I do if the vendor event is 2 hours from my house? The right question is, how can I apply this if the vendor event is 2 hours from my house? If the vendor event is 2 hours from your house, then you're going to want to have a bash that is closer to that vendor event, that's within 20 minutes. You can have it in a restaurant back room. You've got to find a location, even have one of the people, maybe your girlfriend, maybe there's somebody you know, maybe somebody you really clicked with that came up to your booth. You could ask them if they would be willing to host, right? There's so many things you could do as long as you're asking yourself the right question. How can I make this work if it's far away? Well, you've got to find a location that's close to there. Yes, you're still going to have to schlep your shit there, but it would be worth it, right? Because you're going to have a whole bunch of people coming. And then from there, you could book ultimate bashes that way, okay? And maybe that location ends up being the ultimate bash for the people who book because it's in that area. It's fine to have an ultimate bash outside your house. It's fine to have a bash for yourself outside your house. It doesn't have to be at your house. I had 1,000 pieces of inventory. It had to be at or 3,000 pieces of inventory. It had to be at my fucking house. I was sick of taking this shit everywhere. And the thing about this is also, you don't have to continually do vendor events. You could really use, let's say, 3 vendor events to get this kicked off. So let's do this as like a 3 vendor event mindset, right? So you have a vendor event 3 months apart though, or I mean a month apart for the next 3 months. That would be the other thing that I'd suggest if you're going to do multiple vendor events. Don't butt them up, or butt them up and then have all those invites going to one bash. Generally, if you're going to butt them up, the challenge that you're going to run into is that you want to have the bash closer to the time of the vendor event, but you put too many vendor events there, so it's hard to play that out. So let me give you both examples. If you have a vendor event this weekend, the next weekend, then the next weekend, usually the vendor events are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, just depending on the location where you live, all that good jazz. So let's say that the vendor event is, for a bad example, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you have a vendor event Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the next 3 weeks, you could have your Lula Bash on the Thursdays, but that would mean you have invites going out so for this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're handing out invites for this coming up Thursday, right? You have to hold your bash on Thursday, and then you have the vendor event the next weekend. When you have the vendor event the next week, you got to hold your bash the next Thursday. So for the next 3 weekends, you have vendor events. And then for the next 3 Thursdays, you have to host your own bashes. See where the problem comes in? Where the fuck are you going to put your ultimate parties? Because you're booked every weekend, where are you going to hold your ultimate parties? You could put them on Wednesdays, yes, but that's going to be a fucking crazy, crazy, crazy 3 weeks. You would have an ultimate party this Wednesday. Thursday's a bash, the weekend's a vendor event. Next Wednesday, you have an ultimate party, Thursday's a bash, and then you've got the vendor event all weekend. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I know you're thinking, well, that's a good problem to have. It's not, because by the time you get through those 3 weeks, you're going to be burnt out. So here's a better way to do it. 1 vendor event a month that you can carry out, right? So you'll go vendor event, invite, next weekend bash, next 2 weekends would be your ultimate party. Then you got another vendor event again, right? Then you've got a bash, And then from that bash, you've got 2 ultimate parties. You give it the opportunity to play out, and then you roll those bookings forward. So the ebook that I'm going to give you, How to Book 2 Parties at Every Party, that helps all your bash and all your ultimate bashes to run forward, so you're constantly booked. And it all hinged on the first vendor event. So that's also meaning if you're watching this, listening to this, and you have 0 parties on your books, no problem, because that vendor event's going to carry you forward. So let's look at it another way. Yeah, but I live in a rural area. You guys, I constantly hear all the problems with everything, and I'm so over it. That's why I'm encouraging you to stop looking at everything in the mentality that, well, there's this wrong with that, and there's this wrong with that, because I'm the only person on fucking earth that has this issue where that won't work for me. You're not. You're just the only person at the moment that's thinking about how it won't work for you. So again, I'm going to reiterate, make sure you're asking yourself the right quality of questions so you get the higher quality of answers. The question is, how can you make it work for yourself? If you live in a smaller area and there's no vendor events and all the bullshit that I hear, there's the next thing. You host your own party. You're going to have to probably do it in a location that's a little bit further from your house, but it's more central to anybody to get to. Yes, you would have to do that because you just told me the problem is you live in an area where and all the people, and they won't come and whatever. So you're probably going to have to do it further out and not at your house, right? And then you'll be in a centralized location. So you could still host your own party. So if you cannot do a vendor event, you can't find one, and you want to start this idea now, this could start on your own party. So you're the host, you host the party, right? And then you invite everybody you know to that party. And you enlist your 5 closest friends to bring 2 people you've never met before. And you're going to give them something. But remember, every single person who shows up is going to get this larger free gift that really makes them want to come. You're still doing a bash, but instead of the bash being people that you met at a vendor event that you gave an invite to come, it's the people that you know, people that have hosted parties for you before. So those are people that are outside your circle, right? People who have came to your parties before. They may have bought, they may have hosted, none of it matters. Anybody you have names and addresses for, you're inviting them to this bash, and preferably phone numbers so that you can remind them to show up, right? So across the board, you're going to be going through every single person you know. You're going to send out all these invites. Now that version of this, your attendance will probably be a little bit less. So from a vendor event, I don't know what it was about that flow, but it worked so well. They wanted to come see the rest of the inventory. They wanted the free pair of leggings. So they were fucking there, right? They were not missing it. So with this, the attendance might be a little bit less. Let's say you got 5 to 7 people, which is 6. That gets you 6 people, right? Because you do this. From those 6 people, you follow the How to Book 2 Parties at Every Party training, the ebook. Again, it will be beneath this video when I'm done. On YouTube, it's going to be above this video. On Facebook, and I'm emailing it out to everybody who is on my email list under the direct sales world, okay? So if you're on my email list, and let's say you've been getting emails from me about this, like if you got emails from me to come join me for this badass booking training, or if you got emails from me about the summer slump series, all of that, you will get the ebook. If you didn't, if you're not getting those emails, let me know and I can get you hooked up and make sure that you get this ebook. But again, it is going to be in the description of this video and in the description of the YouTube video. So anyways, you are going to follow that even if you're hosting your own event, right? And you are going to still book ultimate parties from there, but you're probably only going to want to have one ultimate party date from there. That's like, I would say 2 weeks away. So you hosted your own Lula Bash or your own bash. You invited all of your own people because you didn't have any vendor events in the area that you could do, or they're all booked up, or you want to take my advice right now, right? So let's say that from today you book a bash at your house in a week, like so next Friday, whatever that is, Friday the 20th, right? So you book a bash for Friday the 20th. You're going balls to the wall. Today, you're going to get all your invitations done. You're going to get them all sent out. You're going to create your Facebook event. You're going to do the damn thing, right? You're going to do that. Well, then you're going to want your ultimate to be 2 weeks away from that. That's somewhere right around August 4th, right? So the bash is held on the 20th. You had 6 people show up and you booked 2-ish people for that ultimate bash, right? Let's say you booked 2 people for that ultimate bash on the 4th. It's not really a lot, is it? In the meantime, you could be doing some extra things online, right? To get people booked in. For that, you can be texting people and saying, hey, I noticed you weren't able to make it to my bash that I had, but I wanted to shoot you this quick text. It's all over in the group, but it's like a quick text that says, I have to think about it because you're doing an ultimate bash. The other day, I did a post about a text that you can send out to get parties booked. I don't know how many of you guys saw that, but it was in Direct Sellers Rock Daily. It's basically that text, which is, hey, girl, it's Alishia with Pure Romance. Hey, girl, it's Alishia with Pure Romance. I can't remember the text right now. I'm so sorry. Let me go see if I can find it because I think that would be fucked up for me to not tell you what it is. And then some asshole would send me a message being like, you just don't want to tell us what it is because you want us to buy your stuff. But then they would get blocked because I hate bitches. I like badass bitches, but I don't like bitches. Okay, so the text is, hey girl, it's Alishia with Pure Romance. I only need one more party to reach my goal for, and you insert whatever month it is, and I knew you'd help me out. I'm giving the first person who books a bonus $50 in free product. What date works better for you? Blank or blank. So this would work out perfectly. Anybody who didn't show up for the event, I probably wouldn't even mention that that they weren't there. I would be like, hey girl, it's Alishia with Pure Romance. I only need one more party to reach my goal for July, and I knew you'd help me out. I'd keep the text the same, but except for at the end, I would say my next available date is August 4th. Does that work for you? Question mark. If they say no, then I would probably have another date available for August 11th, right? Because once you have your bash, the next 3 weeks is supposed to be an ultimate party. Again, the text is, hey girl, it's Alishia with Pure Romance. I only need one more party to hit my goal for whatever month you're in, and I knew you would help me out. I'm giving the first person who books a bonus $50 in free goodies. What date? The next available date I have is August 4th. Or you could say, which date works better for you, August 11th or August 4th? You always want to put the furthest date away first and the closest date last. Because the psychology of selling is that people will choose the last date you say. So if you say the closer date last, they'll be like August 4th, right? Now, the only thing with that is you might end up with 2 parties for the 4th and 2 parties for the 11th instead of having 4 parties for the 4th. So I like the idea of saying my next available date is August 4th. Does that work for you? If they say no, then say, I could also do August 11th. Would that be better? And then they come in and are like, yes. Hey, Jessica. So you get that opportunity to get the August 4th booked first, and then you can go to that next step date. So that's my suggestion there. So that because there was only 6 people that showed up, you got 2 people booked in for August 4th, right? Then you send that text message out. You might get 1 or 2 more people for August 4th, and now you've got 4 parties booked in one night, and it hinged off of the bash you did at your house, or it hinged off of that vendor event. And from that moment forward, you're going to roll parties forward. So when August 4th hits, from that party, you're saying, you're doing the whole booking training from the Book Your Way to More Paydays ebook that I'm telling you you're going to get, right? Description here, description on YouTube, and it's going to be emailed out. So I'm telling you, like right now, this is the shit. This is the bee's knees. Because when you get to August 4th, you're going to be following that training to book up August 11th and August 18th. When you get to August 11th, you're going to be using that same training to book up August 18th and whatever 7 days after that is, August 25th, so on and so forth. But then you're going to get back to the beginning of the month and you're either going to do another bash for yourself or you do a vendor event that leads to a bash. It depends on how you want to do it. But here's the thing. The biggest thing about this whole flow is that you always want to be having a bash. So once I started that vendor event, I only did 1 week in a vendor event to kick off my offline presence. And then I never went to another vendor event again. It was too much for me. But it didn't matter because that one vendor event or that one weekend of vendor events kicked it off forward. I made it to where the first Friday of every month was a Lula Bash at my house. The next 3 Fridays were ultimate parties at my house. And boom, they all rolled forward. I only had to do that one vendor event to kick it off. I'm telling you, though, you might have to do a vendor event this month and then the bash and then ultimate. And then the next month you might have to host your own and then do the ultimate, right? Don't just stop at one vendor event if you are not getting booked up. Or that one vendor event could be enough if you're booked. The only way you're going to tell is by how it's going. If you're only getting 3 people a week to book an ultimate and you really want to boost that to 5, then you need to find more people. The way you find more people, in my professional opinion, is to host your own bash and give big bonuses for bringing people you don't know, right? Free gifts for bringing people you don't know, or getting your ass out to a vendor event and inviting those new people to the bash. It doesn't have to be as hard as it's being made out to be in the world. If you're being told that in-home parties are dead, you're being lied to. If you're being told that the only way you're really going to be able to build your business and be successful is online, it's a fucking lie. You're always going to sell more in person, especially if you know how to be fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational. Especially if you pride yourself on being a fucking business owner and not telling people that this is what you do just to get out of the house because you're a stay-at-home mom. You have to take ownership of your fucking business and run it like you invested $1 million to start it. The more you stay plugged into me, the more you stay plugged into my world, the more that you hold on to all the badassery that I have to offer, the higher the chance that the way your business looks right now is going to be a distant memory. The people who listen and they implement and they do exactly what I tell them to do and they stay doing it, never, ever run out of parties. Their business never ends up being started over. Some of the times you're going to realize that you've got to actually invest money into your business in order to go to that next level. Like you realize I need to hire Alishia as my one-on-one coach, or you realize that, God, I need to buy the whatever training from Power Coach Alishia because I need that, or whatever it is. You always are going to want to invest in your business. Just because you get badass training like this for free, that should never stop you for paying for badass training. And I don't really give a fuck if it's for me or for somebody else. That's not like my point with that. It's just that you must always be investing in learning more and being able to grow. And I pride myself on doing my absolute best to bring you guys innovative ways to build your business. I promise you, what I just taught you, you've never heard before. Never. You want to know why? Because nobody thinks like me, right? I believe that every direct sales coach brings whatever it is that they're supposed to bring to the industry. And I know that what I bring are like the most badass creative ways to make you think bigger, right? Be bolder and make no excuse about building your business. It's not just the same shit. I'm not going to sit here and continue hammering home fucking Facebook parties because that's where it started at. I'm not gonna do those things. Like any of my Facebook party trainings are obsolete. They don't work anymore. Facebook live sales, yeah, those can work, but now there's a front-end marketing plan and a back-end marketing plan that must be tight as fuck for that Facebook live sale to work. There must be a consistent structure across the board for those Facebook live sales to work. Remember, consistency, plus momentum equals you reaching your goals. So the more consistent you are, that will get you to the momentum, and then you will reach your goals, right? But it's consistency of showing up and building those relationships. It's the consistency of adding the value to people's lives, whether or not they purchase from you. Then that momentum kicks up because you're constantly around and you're constantly giving that value and you're showing up without your hand out, right? And then you start to reach your goals and it starts to climb because the systems that you put in place in the meantime of adding that value and connecting with people turns all that time you spent into cash. But people are always looking at cash first, which means the system sucks. There's no consistency and there's no momentum. So with that being said, that's what the new training camp's about. When the training camp gets out of beta mode, it will be $1,000 or more for this training camp. But for my beta group, it's going to be $97. No joke. I'm going to have my beta group go through it. I'm going to design it, deliver it. Literally, I didn't even know I was going to do this 2 days ago, but I saw a whole, like I saw a need, and I have a process that fills that need, but I also saw a hole in that process. So any of you guys who've taken my Facebook live sell training before, I did some company specific ones and I did just generic, not company specific. I saw that it was so badass. I gave you a month plan laid out, and I told you like, Monday, do this, Tuesday, do that, Wednesday, do that, Thursday, do that. And the plan was based off of products that I had created, my Facebook Biz Builder pack, my Facebook recruiting pack, my product testers rock camp, my auto ship rock camp. It was based off this stuff. And the thing was, if you did not buy the Facebook Biz Builder, or you hadn't bought the Product Tester Rock Camp, or you didn't buy the Facebook Recruiting Pack, or the Auto Ship Program, or you didn't know how to do ultimate parties, the plan was badass, but you didn't have the training. So the need and the reason why this training camp has been designed is because if Monday I tell you to do Biz Booster post number 1, I'm going to be training you on what that post is, right? So that when you're there and you're taking action to be there, you have the training that you need, right? For what a Biz Booster is. Tuesday, if that is do deal or no deal, I'm going to train you on what deal or no deal is and how to do it efficiently. If Wednesday is, I don't remember what Wednesday is. Wednesday is whatever. I'm going to train you on what that whatever is so that you know exactly what to do. So, because originally when I designed it, there was so many people who had bought so many of my products that it worked for them. But I realized there's a whole world of you out there who have never even invested in anything from me, or B, you don't have all of those things. So then what would be the fucking point of following my Facebook lifestyle training? It's not going to work for you. So it's a really awesome training camp. It teaches you how to run flash sales, like so much awesomeness, plus how to do these ultimate parties that we're talking about here. If you want to be part of the beta group, I would love for you to go through this, test it out for me. I'll find the holes, I'll get your feedback, and then I'll launch it for real. All you have to do is type TC in the comments here on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, you got to send me a message on Facebook, and you can find me there by going to facebook.com/Alishia Willardson, ALISHIA, ALISHIA. Willardson is WILLARDSON. Facebook.com/Alishia Willardson. Shoot me a message. Here's the deal. Whether or not you join the training camp, it doesn't matter, because I'm still going to be showing up here. I'm going to still be giving you value. I'm still going to be training you, and you're going to learn some badass things like you did today. Just the process of putting your flow together for a vendor event or when you host your own party and then you move forward. That was fucking gold. I hope you guys realize how powerful that is. If you don't have vendor events on your calendar right now, I highly recommend that you go get at least one booked and follow this process. In the meantime, and coming up here soon, I am going to do my 8-step training to rock and vendor events, like to book parties. Generally, anybody who does my vendor event training books 2 to 3 parties at every vendor event, and that's a slow vendor event. Okay, so that's like one that's extremely slow. And then there's the vendor event that if they're really busy, like there's been some crazy numbers where people will shoot me a message and I booked 30 parties at the vendor event. It's like, you're a fucking liar. You know what I mean? I was like, no, we did. Like my team was there. We all did it. We all followed your training and we booked 30 parties. And I was like, that's nuts to me. You know, like that's awesome. So I am going to do a live and it'll teach you the 8 steps, and I'm not going to pull the wool over your eyes. I do have a physical system that I mail out to you. So once you get that training, if you want to buy my system, I highly recommend it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to work. But even if you don't buy the training, you could put it all together on your own and you can still implement it and still have success. That's my whole point in everything I do from about 2 weeks forward, right? Is that if you want to buy that next step, if you want to have it done for you, if you want to go and have the help, I'm going to offer it always. But if you don't, it's not going to be like you get off a live, you get off a training, you get off something that we were doing together, and you're like, well, that was fucking worthless. Because I didn't buy what she had to offer, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I don't want you to feel like that. So for those of you guys that are still hanging around, can you please just shout out in the comments, like, What was one thing that you loved from this training? This is huge, you guys. Like, and this is something that I used to always ask you guys to do. And so I'm going to ask you to do it again. And for those of you that are on YouTube, it doesn't matter. Like, shout it out in the comments. What did you love about this training? If you're in the Direct Sellers Rock Daily Facebook group, make sure you turn on your notifications. There's awesome training going down in the group every single day. Here on YouTube, make sure you click that bell and you subscribe. There's lots of awesome things coming out right now. I'm in the middle of the Get Your Shift Together challenge to shift your life from shit shows to rainbows. Today was day 4. It's all here on YouTube. All the videos, you can watch it back. I just am so happy to be here for you guys and be able to help you. So what was your number one thing that you loved from this training today? Shout it out in the comments. Also, if you have any questions, shout them out in the comments. I'll respond to your questions and do my best to help you. Yeah. So Shannon, there you go. I just gave you the whole flow. So you could do like 1 million vendor events, and you don't even have to get bookings from the vendor events. Based on what I just taught you, I showed you how to take a vendor event, turn it into a party, turn that party into rolling bookings. Boom, you're done. I don't even know what that process is called. Yay. Thanks, Jess. I don't even know what that process is called, but I need to name it something. Like how to get unlimited bookings from vendor events. Like, that's not even right, because my vendor event training actually teaches you how to get bookings. I'm going to have to think about what to title that process, because I designed it myself. Like, it's literally my 3-step formula to building an ultimate party business. Boom, that's what it is. Because that's what you really end up doing, is building an ultimate party business where you can go out 4 times a month and hold, 15, and then your own party, you're holding 16 parties a month, but you only did 4 parties. Whether it's your house as the location, or you rent a space as the location, or you do it in the back of a restaurant or whatever, it doesn't matter. You really only put together 4 parties for the month, but you held 16. It is fucking amazing. It's amazing. And the only reason why I know this works is because this is exactly what I did. Last summer, I woke up and I was like, it's the fucking summer and people are not online. And you'll notice that this happens as it gets closer to the fucking holidays too. As the holidays come, people are not really as much online. They're face-to-face. They're rubbing elbows. Where the fuck do you think you should be? Face-to-face, rubbing elbows. If people are literally still face-to-face, talking, hanging out, having fun, getting together, in-home parties aren't dead. And I believe they'll never die, because no matter what, as humans, we still crave that face-to-face contact, that face-to-face interaction, that face-to-face fun, right? That environment. There's always going to be a space offline to be successful. And now, while everybody's believing that online is only where it's at, social media is only where it's at, I'm telling you, get your ass offline and like literally scoop up a chunk of that business. There's so much to be had. There's so much to be had online too, don't get me wrong. But if the internet disappeared today, what the fuck would you do? I already know what I would do. Even as a direct sales coach, even as a life coach, I know what I would do. I'm not concerned. I have the plan. I'm building the plan. I know what I'm doing. So if you would like to do a meet and greet at your convention and you would love to help be an organizer of that, I have a brand new direct sales power camp. It's not the same thing as the training camp that's coming up. It's a direct sales power camp that is the 7 pillars to your direct sales business. I'm going to be giving every single person from each company, like the person that says that they're going to help me organize the event, they get free access to that power camp. Just as a thank you for helping me organize the event. So I talked about this a little bit earlier. It's a meet, greet, and training. So we'll be at a location. We get to hug each other, take pictures. I'm going to train you. We'll have a Q&A session, all for free. All you have to do is show up. And my plan is to do it the day after the convention ends. So if the convention ends, this night with a closing party, then the next day, like 10 a.m. or something, 11 a.m., that's when the meet, greet training Q&A will be. If you would love to see me in person, I'll fly there on my own dime. Obviously, I'll have some products. I'll have my books that I've written if you guys want to get them. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to bring the value. I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to hug you guys and do the damn thing. So if you would love to see me in person, there's no money out of your pocket to do it. You're already there, right? For convention, if you are there and you want to be my liaison, you will get free access to this power camp when it launches in the fall. And it's the 7 pillars to direct sell success. Marcy Jones is working on it for Papa, but I would love for you to correlate with her, Jessica. I need help. I don't know where it's going to be. There's already 24 girls confirmed to come. So if we could all work together, that would be great. Yeah, so I'm always going to need a liaison. So you guys, thank you again for hanging out. Remember to drop TC in the comments if you want information on the training camp I've been talking about, a couple times in this live. If not, make sure that you check your email for that free Book Your Way to More Paydays ebook. Yay, I'm so excited. I hope you guys love that. Remember to share. And like I always say, remember that you deserve to live the life you love, plus build a profit-filled empire unapologetically authentic. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.